Hello bitchlings and welcome to another video. If you keep hearing noises, it's my boyfriend playing his games. In today's video I'm going to talk to you guys about spirit attachments and kind of let you know about the symptoms, and I'm going to do a series about possessions and attachments, so there's gonna be multiple different videos about the issue because it's a big issue. And now that I kind of have some experience of being unfortunate enough to get a spirit attached to me, I feel like I can talk to you guys even better about this issue. So in today's video we're going to go through the symptoms of spirit attachment and basically also go through what kind of people are at risk of getting a spirit attached to them. So if you feel like you've been having this kind of weird experiences of getting attachments, this video may be for you. So I'm gonna go one part by one, and then in the next videos we're going to talk about possessions and how that differs from attachments, and also probably how to banish. And then I'll be doing one about what kind of entities will be attaching themselves to people. So you kind of get this small course of the things that's going on, okay? Because this is something that everybody who dabbles in occult should know, and it's a quite common issue. So I would like to tell you guys that this is an important thing. Please pay attention. And because, like for example me, I've done this for a long time but I still got off guard, so I'm just letting you guys know that this is a actual danger and you should be aware of this, okay? So what is a spirit attachment? It is exactly as it says. It is a spirit or an entity attaching itself to your aura or attaching itself to you. And there are different kind of reasons why this happens, but mostly these entities are parasitic and they can be either malevolent or benevolent, and they are usually attracted to your energies and they use your energies, kind of sucking it out from you and causing energy disruptions and your energy to shift because of their own energy. So that's what's going on basically. And there are different people, as I said, who are more prone to getting attachments, and some people get them more easy than others, but I'm just gonna go through these symptoms for you guys. And I like to note in the beginning that these are also some of the same kind of symptoms that people with mental illness face. So before assuming it's paranormal, I would go to a doctor and just have a health check, and if everything comes up great, there might be a reason to believe that this might be actually a paranormal issue that you can try to get help to from paranormal community, or witches like myself, or a priest or somebody else, okay? So yeah, or you can do a cleansing and see if that helps. But anyway, going into the symptoms now. So I have my handy dandy Book of Shadows here with me that I usually use for this kind of stuff. Every time I experience something new I write about it because I'm gonna give this to my children, and this is gonna be like the it's gonna be something that prepares them for this kind of stuff, so yeah. Anyway, the most common symptoms, one of them is chronic fatigue, so you are very tired all the time. And this is usually, all of these symptoms, they usually come without any stressors in your life, like pre-stressors. So this happens quickly, all these come out of nowhere. So that's kind of like the difference between this and actual like mental illness type of situation. Usually these symptoms don't have a reason behind them, okay? So you experience chronic fatigue no matter how much you sleep, and you sleep poorly. When a spirit is attached to you, you keep seeing nightmares. And this was especially true to me. I saw very violent, very weird, not like me type of nightmares during that time. And yeah, I can tell you, like, yeah, I didn't sleep well, and every night I saw like super vivid, crazy nightmares. And they came out of nowhere, because I usually see nightmares when I'm stressed, but this time it wasn't that. I wasn't stressed, there was nothing like that happening. So yeah, but I told my story of why I got attached in another video, which you can check out. The other thing I noticed too that happened to me was frequent headaches or pressure on third eye area, neck, shoulders and the top of the head. And actually my friend who came to visit me, who is a witch, also told me she felt a heavy feeling on top of her head, almost like you are carrying something excess, which is the entity basically. So the headaches and pressure is from getting kind of like to carry this thing around you, like it's excess energy drainage on you. And usually because our mind is kind of the portal to the other side, and our like psyche and feelings are so connected to our aura, that's why we usually feel the pressure around this part, around the crown chakra area. So yeah, that's common. I can attest to this, yes. And especially like it was so weird, because when we did the cleansing, like all that pressure just went away. My neck and my back and my pussy and my crack. Sorry, I had to do that. But anyway, like my neck and back and head area all felt so relieved, like almost like I had been to a massage or something. But no, it was just that we did the cleansing. Then, digestive disorders. I didn't get this myself, but I've heard from people that you might get some digestive issues similar to a stress reaction, because this is kind of a stress reaction to your body when your energy kind of changes into negative. Like there's so much more stress which causes these issues, and it's to do with the negative energy that the entity brings, probably. So then I can attest to this one too, negative emotions, huge negative emotions without a reason. This is the weirdest thing, they kick into you without any logical reason. You just bubble up with wrath for no reason, and the desperation, sadness and wrath were the kind of feelings that I myself went through, and it went from 0 to 100 without any reason. As I said, it's so weird. So that's a typical symptom. Be aware of that. So that's kind of a scary symptom, I must say. But also that like out of the window when we banished the spirit. So kind of weird. So be on the lookout for negative emotions and them kind of happening without a reason, like a complete normal reason for them. Anxiety and unexplained phobias. I feel like this is to do with, like, for example, being alone and feeling like there's somebody in the house, or fearing that there's somebody in the house, and you've never had this kind of feeling before. I've read about this, I've never had that myself, but it's like sensing another entity in the room with you. So I guess that's like the unexplained phobias. And the fear and anxieties, like it usually heightens so much when you get a spirit attachment. They kind of cause that, okay. Then depression and intrusive thoughts. Yeah, I've heard about the intrusive thoughts part a lot. So the spirit kind of like force feeding their own thoughts into your head. That didn't happen to me, but I've heard so many accounts on that. But I also must say it's a form of schizophrenia. So I would again say or tell you to first see a doctor and see if that helps. But I've heard that intrusive thoughts are a very common symptom of this. Then mood swings. Yeah, as I said, emotional problems without a cause. And basically that's kind of one of the weirdest things about spirit attachments. Suicidal thoughts. Again, with the depression and negative emotions, some people who have never experienced suicidal thoughts might experience them. I didn't, but that doesn't mean that nobody else did. So, yeah. Alienation. So you kind of this public person wanting to be alone all the time, alienating themselves from others, feeling otherness from everybody else, and suddenly feeling like you are out of the loop. Those are kind of the feelings that this is associated with, and you might even want to alienate yourself. That's kind of one of the things. Then there's hearing voices, which is a super common one. I did some research and heard that it's super common. And like, I don't know if this was part of my dream, but I heard when I was waking up at one point when I felt like, or had those nightmares going, like I think I heard my name being called in the dream and getting up like space, like in that kind of moment, but it might have been my dream, don't know, and I've never heard any voices. So that was kind of weird, but I think it could have been just me waking up from my dream. But I've heard many people say that they hear voices when they have spirit attachments, but also a schizophrenia sign or a psychosis sign, so yeah, be aware. And some people believe that the spirit attachment causes mental illness. So some people have told that when they were cleansed and the entity was exorcised off of them, the mental illnesses that they had just went away, basically, which is pretty incredible. I don't know if that's valid. I've heard that, but I just thought I'd include that there's this belief that some mental illnesses are caused by spirit attachment. So anyway, so that's kind of the symptoms. Now let's go into why does it happen and who are at kind of like the worst end of the stick to get this, okay? So why does it happen? The most common thing is that earthbound spirits, I'm sorry, in my last video I called them earth spirits. No, they're earthbound spirits in English. I was lost in translation, sorry guys. But earthbound spirits want the comfort of living. So they are the kind of spirits that have died and stuck into this world and they miss living, so they like the energy of the living and they want to attach themselves to that to experience living once more. So that might be a reason why they attach to you. It might not be to hurt you or anything. They don't know they are hurting you sometimes. They just want to like experience living again, and they feel drawn to the positive energy because of their own negativity, and that's kind of like one of the reasons why it happens. Or they might be attached to a person with negative energy because it matches their energy, so they feel less alone because they can like relate to you. It's very human actually. And then yeah, energy attracts energy, like attracts like. So if you have a lot of negative energy, something has happened, you are weak-minded, and you have these negative emotions already, it might like attract even more negativity, in this case entities or spirits. So yeah, that's kind of the reason why it happens. Then, who is at risk? I've listed some people types, so if you are one of these people, just use your protections. Girl, you're safe. Boy, you're safe. No worries, okay? This is not the end of the world. So paranormal investigators are a few of the reported ones to get a lot of attachments, even possessions. Attachment is a minor form of possession. Forgot to say that. But anyway, because these people go into places, oftentimes they don't protect themselves. I'm looking at you, shitty paranormal investigators. They don't protect themselves, they provoke the spirits, they give them permission to enter most of the times. So all of these things put them at risk of getting attachments. Many times they are scared because they go there at night, they don't know how to help their own energies, balance their own energies. So oftentimes they do get possessed because they don't know what they are doing, or they also I've seen many paranormal investigators kind of, how do you say it, like not respect the spirits because they kind of underestimate them, okay? That's why it happens many times. And they go to active places where there are a lot of negative hauntings, a lot of like sadness, horrible, sometimes murderer spirits of people who weren't very nice, so those are more likely to attach to you. So yeah, paranormal investigators. Psychics and mediums also, especially the psychics and mediums who don't know they are psychics and mediums. Many people see and hear spirits, and being a psychic or a medium is like being a lighthouse, okay? And many people don't know they are psychics or mediums, they just kind of try to write it off, and they don't know why they keep seeing and hearing these entities, but they do know. So if you don't know how to protect yourself, they can attach to you quite easily, and they are attracted to psychics and mediums because they know that you can see them, hear them, whatever. And especially untrained non-professionals who don't use protections that sounded dirty, are weak-minded or in a weak emotional state, this kind of psychic mediums are the prime kind of like group to get attachments. And then dabblers in occult sciences, yes. So I mean by this the people who try spells without knowing what they are doing, without researching first, without protecting first, people who try Ouija boards and do things without cleansings, without, you know, like people who do things that they aren't supposed to do and don't know, and they underestimate the spirits. That's the number one fail where you're gonna get attachments or possessions. Just Google it, there's a lot of cases like that, so yeah. Then people with emotional or health issues, so either physical or mental state already kind of getting bad vibes. A relative dying is one of the reasons why people get attachments, because the relative can attach to them because they are in a weakened emotional state, or another spirit can attach to them. Or the same way if they have physical illness and they aren't feeling, because our aura is kind of one of those things that if you are feeling physically or mentally fatigued, your aura is weaker, it's easier to rip apart and come in, okay? So that's kind of what happens. So the negativity and the weakness attracts especially earthbound spirits. So yeah. Then people with drug and alcohol abuse. There's a belief that drug and alcohol abuse weakens the psyche and weakens the protections of psyche, because it opens up some parts of the psyche that you are not supposed to open. So chemically imbalances in the chemical imbalances in the brain, especially in the areas that protect you and kind of keep you sane. So basically you are very weak at this moment, and you are also kicking down doors of your protection while you are, for example, like mushroom tripping and things like that, that overactivate your third eye and force it open. That leaves you very, very kind of like open to attachments and possessions, and usually bad trips are actually believed to be part of like attachment or possession. So yeah, don't do drugs, don't do too much alcohol. Some people think that delirium tremens and different kind of like issues like that are partially caused by the spirit attachment, because the person is at their weakest basically when they are like getting kind of like, what's that word, like when they stop drug abuse or stop alcohol consumption and they get like the symptoms from it. So yeah, so that was kind of a small, well, a pretty long video about spirit attachments and who are prone to be attached to. Next time we're going to go to the types of spirits that attach to you and then the protection. So yeah, I hope this was helpful. I see you guys in my next video. Bye, bitchlings!